Imagine being forced to leave your home, your family, and everything you know to work in harsh conditions hundreds of miles away, all for someone else's benefit. This was the reality for thousands of Filipinos in the 1600s. And in one small town, a man named Agustin Sumuroy said, "Enough is enough." What followed was a fiery rebellion that spread across the Philippines, shaking Spanish rule to its core. This is the story of the Sumuroy Revolt. Our story begins in 1649, in the quiet coastal town of Palapag, located in what is now northern Samar. The Spanish colonial government had long imposed a system called Polo, servicio. This forced labor system required men aged 16 to 60 to work for free on projects like shipbuilding, roads, and churches. Sounds unfair, right? But it gets worse. While the law stated that men should only work near their hometowns, the Spanish ignored this rule. In Samar, the Waray people were being sent far away to the shipyards of Cavite, hundreds of miles from their families. For many, this was a death sentence. Disease, hunger, and exhaustion claimed countless lives. But one man refused to accept this injustice. Agustin Sumuroy, a young Waray, stepped forward as the voice of his people. On June 1st, 1649, he and his followers launched a revolt that would go down in history. Their first act, a shocking and symbolic move. They killed the local Spanish parish priest. To them, he was a symbol of oppression, a representative of the Spanish crown that exploited their labor and faith. This single act sent shockwaves through the region. But Sumuroy wasn't done yet. Sumuroy's rebellion quickly gained momentum. From Samar, the revolt spread like wildfire to other parts of the Visayas and even Mindanao. Places like Cebu, Masbate, Zamboanga, and Surigao rose up in defiance. For a brief moment, the dream of freedom seemed within reach. But how did Sumuroy manage to inspire such widespread resistance? The answer lies in the Waray spirit, a fierce desire for independence and a refusal to be silenced. But of course, the Spanish didn't take this lightly. They sent reinforcements to crush the rebellion. Sumuroy and his men retreated to the mountains, where they established a stronghold. For over a year, they fought a guerrilla war, using the rugged terrain to their advantage. Yet, all great struggles come with sacrifices. In June 1650, tragedy struck. Sumuroy was betrayed, captured, and executed. His death was a devastating blow to the rebellion. But even in defeat, his story wasn't over. After Sumuroy's death, his trusted ally, David Dula, took up the mantle of leadership. Determined to keep the fight alive, Dula continued the resistance with even greater determination. The Spaniards were relentless, but so was the Waray spirit. For several years, Dula and his men waged war against the Spanish forces. The mountains of Samar became a battlefield, echoing with the cries of freedom fighters. But as the years passed, resources dwindled, and the rebels found themselves increasingly outnumbered. In a fierce battle, David Dula was wounded, captured, and eventually executed alongside his loyal men. Their deaths marked the end of the Sumuroy Revolt.